years old when the war started. I was 8 when it finished. There were things that I should never have seen. My twin cousins, my age, whom I loved dearly, were caught by the Nazis, brought to Płaszów, and shot by the soldiers while running up the hill. From my hideout, I saw how they fell, and it haunts me my entire life.
Years ago, a terrible war broke out like a storm out of hate as the Nazis' troopers and their collaborators trampled everything standing in their way, spreading clouds of hatred of anyone other or different to them.
Today, this place is a makom shel kedusha, a place of true holiness because of all of you who are here gathered to give voice and give memory to the victims of the Holocaust.
Please let us all put aside our strangers. Let's put aside any sarcasm and let's share an open and warm heart for each other.
Please welcome with boundless love the Holocaust survivors and their family members accompanying them.
We have a country. We have a people. We have our armed forces, which the French of the Israel Defense Forces are doing so much for them. And therefore comes my pledge, never again. Thank you.
Coming here today, as an officer, it is a feeling of giving hope to the people, and we will keep Israel strong, as always.
Our little victory is that we are here stronger, and on uniforms, which just shows our strength as a nation.
The Germans reached Tarnów on September 8th, 1939. They're not just going to exterminate us physically, but they are going to break our spirits first. They're going to trample on us. They're going to dehumanize us and humiliate us any possible way that they can.
Seeing everything that our ancestors have gone through and seeing what it took to, finally get to Israel, and it's sad and it's very emotional.
What cruel evil took hold of a Nazi soldier when he lifted his gun to shoot an innocent child? What monstrous evil possessed him when he put a little child in a bag and beat that bag until it stopped moving?
We know that there were orphanages in Tarnów, children who had no one to depend on, children who were helpless, children who had no one. Many of the murders happen here in this forest where 800 children are murdered, are buried.
Between 1939 and 1945, 6 million Jews were murdered by the Nazis and their collaborators. Among them, 1.5 million children and teenagers.
And we weren't there to save them. We could have been. And now we have an army, and now we have officers that can protect these lives. We have a country where people can come to, and I can't imagine being anywhere else right now.
With Holocaust survivor is one of the powerful moments that I had in my life.
With us now is Major General Amir Eshel, and we have an Israel Air Force officer here as well, Maya. A real pleasure and honor to have you with us, sir.
Thank you,
Maya. My daughter's name is Maya. I'm so pleased to be with you here. What can I tell you? We're living in crazy times, and Hasbara, public diplomacy is more important for Israel and Jewish life than ever, with the insanity of rising anti-Semitism in the world. And it is heroes like you who are protecting Israel. My parents were Holocaust survivors, so I'm very much in touch with the essential role that you are playing. What are your thoughts on things at the present time, sir?
A lot of concerns. Some genies got out of the battles. And we remember all times that those kind of acts started tragedies and crises. And I hope that all of us, I'm talking about globally, will set our minds and confront those phenomena in order to get those genies back to the battle before tragedies will occur.
Nothing has really changed. Why is anti-Semitism suddenly so much more prevalent than it was 10 years ago? What's happened?
Well, I think the world has changed in a way. Democracies are conflicting internal challenges, and all those activities in the new media let people express their opinions without being accounted for, and that's the kind of lose of many people in many countries, lots of people in many countries, to raise up the level of, I would say violent discussion, violent dialogue all over. And I think it inspired, in a bad way, a lot of people. And this is kind of a challenge that we have to confront, and sooner is better, the better, because we know the potential outcomes of those kind of vectors from history, and we are facing them right now. So nobody is immune. Nothing should be taken for granted. It must be addressed. And of course, relate to Israel and relate to the Jews all around the world. Israel must be strong. Israel must back up the whole Jewish people all around the globe against those violent discussions, and some of them are not just words. Some of them are real violence.
So what you're saying is so very important, and in this world, ignorance and stupidity is so dangerous. And I just think about the responsibilities you had, commanding Israel's outstanding air force, defending Israel, an absolutely essential cause. And you, Maya, you are actually beginning your career as a captain, and I understand that you yourself have served Israel so very well. Share with us your thoughts in our conversation.
I actually agree with everything Amir says, and I think that the media has a very important role in this crazy sensation going around Israel now. It's very easy for toxic, wrong information to go out everywhere, not like 10 and 20 years ago. So I do think this is a very important thing, and this is why it's very important for us to talk in the media and show the other side and the truth.
Speaking of hypocrisy, why is Israel held to a higher standard? Worse things happen in other parts of the world. The UN and other bodies hardly make any mention of it. Yet Israel is singled out for persecution and prosecution in the media. What are your thoughts on that double standard?
I think that the media likes to show all of the bad things. They never show us going to Brazil and helping the people in the earthquakes and all around the world. Media has a bad side of us, always. Never the good side.
You talk about hypocrisy. We demand from ourselves the highest standards all around the globe. It is based on our Jewish moral values. This is our national identity. So we demand from ourselves the highest standards. Others look at us in different ways, and they considered double standards. The highest standard that we demand from ourselves, and other standards for others. And that's why they criticize us, because we demand from ourselves. It sounds weird, but I think it's political tool in order to confront the state of Israel, the people of Israel, the government. We will continue to follow those moral values of the Jewish people. That's what really kept us along those thousands of years. And we're going to follow them as a compass, as a lighthouse. We'll continue to do that.
A concern I have is that technology is really something that is helping Israel's enemies more and more. In the past, it was the high skill of the IDF soldier that made a real big difference. But today, any ignorant fool can fire a sophisticated shoulder missile, and this disparity or change in the equation troubles me. Is Israel able to maintain its qualitative military edge over its enemies?
Yes, technology is a challenge, but the major factor any outcomes of any conflict is the human factor. Doesn't matter what level of technology, how sophisticated it is, cutting edge, whatever. The men and women behind that technology, they are the only one who are responsible to get the results. And we are blessed with the best people in the IDF, highly motivated, skillful. Look, Maya has such a responsibility for what she's doing in the Air Force, which is almost incomparable to any other male or female all around the globe in her age. And she will tell you what she feels about it, what she's doing related to that. I think is inspiring.
Share with us.
Being able to have the amount of responsibility that I have at the age of 20 is crazy. I always tell my soldiers that the responsibility that they have at the age of 18 can affect a whole country. And it's an amazing feeling, and I feel responsible for the citizens, and I feel responsible for the soldiers, and I feel every day when I wake up, I feel the responsibility on my shoulders. And I love what I'm doing. And as for your question about the technology, I think that we have an amazing intelligence, and that we are always building ourselves step by step further on, and we always want to be one step before the enemy. And in the Air Force, it's we feel it. The technology keeps on going.
Motivated and actively defending your country, your homeland. So essential.
It is, the role is quite clear, defending the people and the country. But when you understand the circumstances, the situations Maya is in and others, she has to decide in seconds what to do. And it's easy to make mistakes. And the outcomes of potential mistakes can be strategic. Impact, which is, I would say, unprecedented. And everything lies on her shoulder and her friends all over the IDF. And they are professional. They are determined to take the decisions. They are not afraid. They understand their responsibility, and they are doing great.
Before we conclude, Maya, give our audience a final thought.
I think it's very important for everyone who lives outside of Israel and is not part of the IDF, but has their thoughts of us, to keep on spreading their words and talking about the IDF and all the good stuff and the good things we do and the morals that the IDF works on. Because that's the important thing, and when the word spread out and people see the truth, it makes a difference.
Absolutely. Sir, a final thought from you.
I would like to address your viewers. The support that the state of Israel got from the American Jewish community, the support that IDF got from the friends of IDF here all around, is so precious. It's more important than any technology that we've got, because we feel that we are not alone. We are one entity. And being together, this is the recipe to live forever in our independent country, free, Jewish and democratic.
The one Jewish country in the world, tiny little Israel surrounded by so much hostility. God bless you, Maya. It's really an honor to meet you, and you, sir. Keep up the fantastic good work. Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
אנו, טייסי חיל האוויר הישראלים, בשמי מחנה הזוועות, לעצור היסטורי.
With us now are Evelyn Katz and Dina Ben-Ari. Such a pleasure to have you with us finally.
Thank
Dina,
you for having us.
Same here, of course. Well, I've talked to you so many times over the years, all the amazing things you're doing, both of you, for Israel and the FIDF. And I finally have you on camera, which is great. And here we are in a new year and another wonderful event for FIDF, Friends of the Israel Defense Forces. And share with us your thoughts. Why is this important to you personally?
Because we need to show support to the soldiers that give everything 24/7 to defend the state of Israel. They need to know they're not alone. They need to know that the world supports what they do, that the Jews in the world care about them, that we care about their well-being, we care about their lives, and we want to be part of what they do in some manner.
Absolutely. Dina, what would you add to that?
Well, Israel is my homeland. And as such, you know, I think it's our duty to really support the Israeli soldiers, these boys and girls that really protect the Israeli nation and the Jews all over the world. So I feel privileged, you know, to support and to help support these soldiers.
There seems to be such rising anti-Semitism. I was just speaking with Major General Eshel about this, and it shocks me that in this informed, high-tech world, that people can be so ignorant and stupid and hypocritical. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the key is education. I think that, you know, if you start from when they're yay little and you go up at elementary school, middle school, and high school, and you teach students about world history, they will not be ignorant. I think part of it is the education is lacking in the schools. The media is taken over the education of the people. Everybody, it's a very strong factor in what gets out there and what doesn't get out there. So not everybody gets the facts, not everybody gets the truth.
And that is dangerous. Ignorance is dangerous. Dina, I heard that a significant percentage of millennials in the United States never heard of Auschwitz.
Well, I think, first of all, I think it's really a shame, okay, because this is really such a sad part in the Jewish history, and I think that every Jewish person, you know, should learn and should know, you know, what happened during the Holocaust, and understand, you know, the importance of having a state of Israel to make sure that the Holocaust will never happen again.
Absolutely. That is so unspeakable, that there is so much ignorance and so many people, even in politics in the United States at this time, you'll have uninformed people who are dangerously uninformed and oblivious of the real facts. So education is the key.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If people will be educated, okay, to know the history, to know the facts, okay, they will understand, you know, what's going on in the Middle East and in Israel, and will understand the importance of having a state of Israel, democracy, you know, in the Middle East.
The one democracy and all the achievements of the state of Israel, what Israel contributes to the world. And Jewish people, I must say, even though it may be politically incorrect to brag, but why not? Why shouldn't we be proud of what Israel brings and Jewish people bring to the world?
Israel is incredible. They've done so much in the area, not only of technology, but also using your natural resources and bringing those resources, for example, water. Water is something that is necessary all over the planet. And Israel has been able to harness it, to be able to use it and take it to the developing nations like Africa and show them how they can better use water for agriculture, water, for irrigation, desalination, all these different products that are byproducts of water that we need. Water is essential for life. That's just one small thing that Israel does. The army, for example, the FIDF are the first responders to any disaster anywhere in the world. Who's there first? The FIDF.
Haiti, South America, right. Incredible. Right. Yep. The first hospital in Haiti came from Israel. Absolutely. After the disaster.
And even now recently in Mexico, But I would like to add also, look at Israel, this, just last week, Israel sent, the spaceship, Bereshit. Israel is the 4th country in the world, to send a spaceship, to the moon. So I think this really says it all.
So many technological achievements. Before we conclude this brief interview, unfortunately brief, please share with our audience a final thought with regard to the work of the FIDF and your role in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the FIDF is vital in providing for the well-being of its soldiers. There's several programs that we provide for. There's education, there's the Lone Soldier program. We take care of the wounded and bereaved families. We take care of a full battalion. You can adopt a battalion and take care of all their needs. We provide R&R for the soldiers and gymnasiums and auditoriums and things for them, synagogues for them to be able to have a broad and a good time, not a good time when they're in the army, but a better time, an easier time when they're in the army. And I think that, there's many other things that I'm sure Dina can add to that. But my role is basically in trying to get the word out about what the Friends of the IDF does so that more people can support it, so that more people also understand that the Israeli army is one of the most moral armies in the world, that they are defending the state of Israel. It's not that they want to be out there fighting. They're defending their right to live in their country. And I'm very proud to be able to do this, and it's a privilege for me to be involved.
So very important. Dina, your thoughts?
Well, I'm with the Friends of the IDF over 14 years, and I think it's a privilege and it's an honor, really, to take care of the well-being of the Israeli soldiers. They are young, they are so young, from the age of 18 to 20, they are leaving, their home and going to the army. And I think it's a privilege, really, to make their life easier during the service and after the service.
Absolutely. Dina, such a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very
much. And I would be delighted to meet your husband and interview him as well.
Okay. He's probably there somewhere.
Sure. But for Shmuel, you need an hour.
Oh, it's amazing.
Amazing.
I'll be happy to.
Being here today, these moments for us are empowering. But for you guys, what I would like you to take from it is the victory we take from it. Because these uniforms are different uniforms. These uniforms are not striped, and for us, this is victory.
We need to remember and never forget. Remember and pass on from generation to generation. To vow never again. We swear to protect the state of Israel, to be the shield for all Jewish people around the world, for our families, for our children, and for our future.
Try to think of what all of these shoes mean. It's the only trace physically we leave on Earth. That's the only thing that touches the whole time Earth. These are the shoes in front of us.
What we can do is serve the soldiers, is that while they protect the state of Israel and the Jews all around the world, is we can do our part to serve them and to help make their lives better and to give them the morale boost to know that people thousands of miles away are here to support them.
We are marking here not only the 70th anniversary of the birth of the State of Israel, but 70 years of the rebirth of the Jewish people.
Life Extension magazine brings you new discoveries in health and anti-aging. Our science-based research and supplements are so advanced they're many years ahead of the medical mainstream, with quality control standards that exceed FDA mandates. Life Extension has covered groundbreaking medical research for more than 35 years. For your health and future, you deserve the best. Learn more at lifeextension.com.